Hey, welcome in. I'm Whip. Yo, 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 yo. How we doing? There's nobody here. Oh, there's three people here. There's one person here. Hey, Muppet. Hi, Kitty. I'm going to do something real quick here, so I apologize. I don't have my ducks in a row yet. And upcoming live. Oh, shiznit. Hold, please. I go there, and then we got to hit share and copy. Go back over here and paste. And click video is currently live and go. There we go, I think. Maybe. Anyway, how's everybody doing? Oh, yeah, it jumped to 2. We're up to 5. Hey, B-Wood, what's going on? So I just figured I do have people coming up, or at least Skip said he'd show up. I can't get a hold of Ed, but he said he'd be late. We figured let's just talk some filtration. That seems to be a hot topic about now. And tell me what size tanks you have, what your filtration is. Like for me, on my 210, I have a FX6 and a Aqua Clear 110 and a sponge filter. Could be more, could be less. Hey, George. I mean, Jorge. Son of a gun. Sorry about that. I Americanized you. But yeah, on this one behind me, I have 2 canisters, the 360 Marinelands, and 2 Marineland 350 hang on the backs, and a couple air stones. I tried the what you call it, sponge filter, but I kept getting clogged or something. I don't know. Like the air wouldn't pass through the tip. So I just pulled it and put an air stone on the bottom, and it's working fine. But that's going to be kind of the talk of the day. Like my 90 over there, that thing has a FX2 on it. It's got 2 350 Marinelands. It's got sponge filter as well. I think everything is a combination of that. My 150 over here has an FX5 on it. 5. What's wrong with you? An FX6 over here with 2 Top fin, maybe top fin 110s. I don't think they make them anymore, but they run great. So I kept them. And a sponge filter. And then the 120 over here has a FX6 with the Tidal 110s, two of them, and a sponge filter. That one had a wave maker in it too, but it quit working for whatever reason. I guess you buy cheap, you get cheap. So Muppet says she has a 90 with an FX4 and a big sponge. 10-gallon quarantine tank has a sponge filter. So on my quarantines, I have a small hay on the back. I think it's a Whisper, and a small sponge on the 20-gallon, and then on the 29-gallon, I actually gave a shot to the under gravel filter. My sister had bought me one for Christmas, so I figured I'd give it a shot and see what happens. So far, it's working okay. And then there's a small Aqueon peg on the back on that one too. And then on my two 20-gallon quarantine tanks here that I had to run out and buy because I bought more fish that I had no room for. That's just Aqua Clear 50s hang on the backs, and that's it. There's nothing else filtering that. So if one of those go out, I'm in trouble. So we're up to 9. That's cool. And then on my Arowana tank, which is right there. So I tried to point to it in the screen. That thing has a Marineland 160C canister filter, a sponge filter, and a small hang on the back too. Maybe a Whisper. Not 100% sure on that. And then my cube tank over here has a Shark Pro. I bought the Shark Pro. It's also got a one of those like micro. Hi, Sia, how you doing? It's got one of those little micro-sized, like a little bit like maybe a silver dollar sized sponge filter, but it's like hard cased. It's weird. But other than that, that was what I wanted to talk to you guys about. And just, do you guys think that more is better? Do you generally try to stick to one kind of, like Muppet has at least two, right? Hey, Nick, just got your lawn mowed, and first time this spring, it's time for a break. I hear you. I did mine last weekend. It was so tall, I had to mow it again today, even though it hadn't grown much, but there was clumps of hay out there from the first cutting. So, and the dandelions were a foot tall. And I didn't actually finish. I had to come in and jump in the shower to get ready for this. So, yay. I get to go back out afterwards. I don't know if Holly's still in the house, but I know you were digging in the mud yesterday, I think you said. Did you get that all taken care of, or are you out there again? I used to run 2 hang on the backs in my 90 years ago, and then discovered canisters plus this hang on the back where we're getting moisture on the wall. Oh, really? I haven't had that problem. That's a new one. I got a hang on the backs and everything. I have had it clog. Hey, Adam, what's going on, Captain? I have been lazy and not cleaned up the media quick enough and had it come over the back. That was a mess, but that was my fault, not the machine, not the canister, not the hang on the backs. But yeah, I'm definitely a canister person most of the time. Even on my 35, the 35 gallon with the Shark on it, that's technically still a canister. It's just internal. Congratulations, Mr. McReynolds. I saw that you won a shirt and some food today on Benno Charts. Taking a break from your job. I hear that. And then, yeah, part of what we did today had nothing to do with fish, but we had a septic put in last spring, last fall. And they had put in a second tank with a big 4x4 in the middle of my yard and like an alarm on it and circuit breakers and the whole thing. It's supposed to like break up the waste and then make it go into another tank where it gets distributed. And I didn't, that post has been driving me nuts since they did it. So I had my brother-in-law come over. He's an electrician. He just moved it to the house. So that was where my morning was. Didn't get as far along with my chores as I wanted to. So mowing is rough, especially when your backyard got tore up last year. Man, my back is killing me. It's like old-fashioned roller coaster out there, trying to make its way up the hill for that first big drop. It's just it's a little rough. So we got a swap meet coming up this Saturday. Has anybody got any swaps they're going to be going to anytime soon? Ours are pretty much done until the fall. That's cool. I haven't done it. I've never got Corey's to ever breed for me, but they do. I generally have them in a community tank, so I don't know if it's just the other Corys chowing down on the eggs, or if they do make it to fry, maybe the other fish are gobbling them up as soon as they're swimming. I don't know, but I've never multiplied any of them. Hey, I'm missing somebody. There he is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Cool. Sorry, squirrel. I was missing a fish in my quarantine tank there. He was just hiding. Now you're just south of me, right? There are never any swaps around my area. Closest would probably be Indy. How far a drive is Chicago for you? That's probably a couple hours, right? I think you posted something when I posted a picture of the giant cross. You said you were near that, right? Effingham, I think, down that way. I'm in Rockford, Illinois, so upper northern northwest corner. Can't drink with the lid shut, dummy. I found a bunch of eggs in a clump of hair algae. So I removed the clump into a 5 gallon and got some babies. Well, look at you go. Yeah, so I mean, I don't know if that's closer or not. Indy for me is a long ass drive, but maybe it's closer for you. I see ya. You got to go already. All right. Well, you have yourself a good day, and don't hurt yourself picking up that pool sand filter. That pool filter sand. That stuff is heavy. Okay. All right. Yeah, so that's closer for sure, for certain. Geekster, how you doing? Never any swaps around here either. It's only a 14-hour drive to Chicago for me. Yeah, you might be better off flying. Oh, and YouTube deleted this for me. Deleted what? Oh, I got you. Wow, you guys are, that's all, that sucks. All three of you? Yeah, I've got three main ones I go to every, well, not every, no, I don't go to everyone, but I go to a lot of them. They hold like three or four in the spring, um, each. So there's two in Chicago that I hit. So that's like a total of 8 different opportunities out there. And actually, Greenwater, it's a smaller one, but they do it a couple extra times. So that's like an hour and a half for me. Chicago's probably an hour, and I have to say an hour and a half because it can vary depending on traffic. And then the Quad City is the other direction, and that's an hour and a half for me, hour 40 minutes. So I hit them all the time. A fish swap sounds amazing, though. All the different fish. I'm telling you, if you get a chance to go, you should totally do it. Geek says the club here only does 2 big auctions. Oh, I don't know. I'm not a big fan of the auctions. That's a lot of sitting around for stuff that you don't want. And then when they do come up with something you want, there's somebody fighting you for it. Uh-oh, what did I do? There. You went black for a second. Everything went away. The club here, oh, I read that already. Fall in the spring. One of these days, I will hop on the train to Effingham and make a day trip of it. So, like, how far away is Effingham then from you? If you're only 2.5 hours from Indy, you got to be way over there. Because Indy's like a 6-hour ride for me, I think. I had to go to the south side of Indy 3 times. I think I went 3 different times. There was a Maine Coon cat breeder out there that I was picking up some cats for. Hey, look at this. True to his word as always.
What's up?
Hey, how you doing, buddy?
Well, I had to do a couple things, and then I was getting ready to mow, and I saw what time it was. I was like, well, I got to not do that until after this is over.
Well, and look at this.
Hi there. I thought you weren't doing a show today. I'm so sorry.
All right. So you were going to do this, and then what?
Well, after this, I'm going to mow, but then I was getting ready to jump on, and I heard something. I was like, I got to add water to that turtle tank.
Were the turtles screaming?
Do that.
Man, I am fit to be tied with this Title 110. I have 3 of them. 2 of them were great, and one, it just makes a horrendous noise all the time. It's grinding, grinding, grinding. I have to turn off the skimmer part. That's what kind of put me on the subject that I'm on. I was asking the folks here that what size tank and what are you using to filter? And one of my 110s is just I have to turn it all the way off so the flow is almost nothing, just to shut it up because it's loud.
Huh.
I don't have a turtle tank, so I don't do any turtle filtration.
We're not talking. Skip is talking turtles.
I heard the filter. That's why I had to do it.
The
It's like,
filter was going.
yeah, I think I got an air pump that's about to go too. It's making a different noise.
Is it a is it a hider?
No, well, I ain't doing that ever again.
Man,
That was almost a total disaster.
I bought 2 hydra. Hey, Johnny No Shoes. And two of them have crapped out on me. The third one is doing all right so far. But the first one I bought made it a year, almost to the day. And then it just, man, you would think it was using a hammer inside to make the bubbles work.
My sister was asking me what my mom likes. And it's like, well, you've been her daughter more than I've been her son. But chocolate turtles. She could get her some chocolate turtles.
Yeah, it's
Good job, guys.
Mother's Day.
Yep. I have to get moss and flowers and put them all in the grave. And then I have to figure out what to do for Mrs. Whit. Hey, Liquor. What's going on, buddy?
Is it window liquor? Oh my gosh, I have no way to see who's here. Chat. And Muppet's here.
Yep,
Awesome.
Muppet's here. Johnny No Shoes. Captain McReynolds is here. Geekier was here for a minute. I don't know if he's still here.
No,
I got a question. At Title 110, that's a hang on the back, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Have you tried? Window Liquor asked if you can swap the impeller or the
Oh yeah,
propeller.
he did.
Have you, when you pull the tube up, the lift tube, okay, does it bring the propeller up with it?
Not that one so much. That's more of a AquaClear thing. That happens with my AquaClears a lot, but
No, what I'm asking is, can you remove it?
Yes, I'm almost 100% sure. I've never actually tried, but I'm sure it's replaceable.
What he say?
those
Title
titles
100.
get super loud. They really do get loud. I've got a couple.
What did he
As
say?
soon
You
as
had a
you're-
Title 100.
I think he said a Title 10, whatever that is.
Title 110.
What is that? 110. We were both right. You said 100 and I said 10.
We were close.
Yep. So at least we'd listen to half of what he's saying.
Oh, wait a minute. That motor is in the water.
Yeah.
Well, here's what I would suggest, because I think I've done it with the Aqua.
Neat.
No,
The clears?
the Aqueon
Aqua.
is the motor's in the water. You should be able to take that motor off of there and flush it out with water, like underneath the spigot, and it should help get the gunk out of it.
Like almost all of my hang on the backs are motor in the unit, not the water.
But
Like
the Title
I have,
110 is in water.
Huh?
The Title 110, Title 110 is in the water, though.
Yep, it is.
Right.
I just looked. I forgot about that. I went over there and I'm like, oh, you dummy. You knew that.
Yeah, I'm looking at a picture of it right now.
Yeah. And it just, I cannot seem to figure out why that one filter is giving me so much shit.
Is it in a Pleco cave? Or in a Pleco tank?
No, there's no play. It's one very small female red terror in 120 gallons. That's not her final resting spot. She's just in there. But yeah, there's not much going on in there as far as bio load. just one little tiny fish in a big fish tank. So
What's your
maybe it's
substrate?
not seeded all the way. I think it's all right. Everything looks right and it works. It just makes a lot of damn noise.
Oh, what I'm saying is a lot of them propellers, like if marine land, for an example, if you, like, after a while, if you feel like you're not getting enough power, you take that, you lift the tube, and sometimes a propeller comes out. If not, get a pair of needle nose and lift it up out, and then get, actually they sell them. It's a brush that you can stick down in there to get all the gunk out of it, because sometimes
it's like cleaning out your straw or whatever, right? One of those brushes.
Yes,
it's got bristles all the way around.
Yes. But with the motor being in the water, sometimes you could pop that off and then just wrench, like, put a lot of water pressure through it, and it can help get rid of the gunk too.
I can see if, because that's something that John said too, because I brought it up on his live stream on Thursday. And he's like, I hate to sound like a jerk, but have you done the obvious and cleaned that impeller? And I'm like, well, there's nothing going on in that tank. I mean, there's literally.
And it says you can do that. You can do that on that to clean the impeller. You just take that off and you're able to clean it.
All right.
So you'll be able
I'll
to
give it a shot. Can't hurt.
Oh,
No.
So what did you lose, Grave Digger?
Grave digger.
What a colony of what? Hopefully nothing too expensive.
Maybe Daphnia. You can get a colony of Daphnia.
I don't know that you'd have to go to Iowa for that. But so, like, what are you using, Skip? Like, what's your average tank size over there in the Skip fish room? Or are you all over the board?
I'm all over the place. I got 10s, 20s, 29s, 40s, 75, sponge filters.
And that's it? That's all you run?
Well, except for 2 tanks, I run hang on the backs, and they're one's an Aqueon, one's a marine land, because the one, it's a 13-gallon view. It was a kit that we won at the NEC. Would that have been 2 years ago now? Yes, because they didn't have one last year, and they're not having one this year. But anyways, whenever we was up there, we won, and it came with an Aqueon filter. So I use it. But other than that, pretty much sponge.
And do you find that you got a lot of particulates in your water, or you keep it? Do they keep it pretty clean?
So I don't use like the one Corey has. The big coarse ones, all mine are fine. And I mean, yeah, with them you got to do more filter maintenance, but that's what I use. I don't use the big coarse ones, because they're all smaller tanks. Now, I could get away with doing that with the 75, because that has my Star Sapphire cichlids in it. But they're bigger fish, so I could get away with doing that, but I don't. I apologize. Also run a marine land on my 55-gallon upstairs with a Zis filter. The Zis is the air bubbler one that has the media in it and a sponge on the bottom.
And they're green.
Oh, almost like a. It's almost. It sounds almost like a old box filter, like. Right?
Yeah.
Is it a sponge that's encased in plastic?
There's nothing mechanical.
Yeah,
it's all air driven.
Yeah, it's air driven. The Zis filter, it's tall, cylindrical, has media in it. The air line goes, the air comes up through the media, which there sucks the water up in the debris, and there's a sponge on the bottom that you clean out. Now, that's a coarser one.
The idea is that bacteria grows on the media, and the media is always crashing into each other, so it knocks the dead bacteria off.
Oh, is that right? Is that why they do that? I never knew that. So yeah, learn me something new today.
We have two
Bewood,
of
you are right, but you are also, well, you might still be right, but those titles have a skimmer on them, which none of the other ones have. And if you let the water get down just even a little bit, it's sucking air, and then it's probably still the impeller making the noise, but it's it's just, hey,
Hey,
I just
Vanowski.
it makes me crazy. I wish I could figure out a way to like patch that
Well,
so it doesn't it wasn't there anymore.
get a 5-gallon drip. Put a tank or a 5-gallon bucket up with like rubber hosing going down, and then squeeze it off so it's barely coming out, and it'll constantly be filling your tank, because that drip will be as much as irrigation
Oh yeah,
or evaporation.
I hear what you're saying. This isn't That's not this problem. Because I mean it's making this noise right after a water change and the water's as high as it can go. So
Oh, wow.
and it's still making that noise. So
What a crappy deal.
it's not the skimmer in this particular case, but I know like the one that's in the spare room over here that has my Oscar and Lori's biker. That thing, unless I let the water go down pretty low, like an inch or two, she's quiet as can be.
Yeah, I've got one in my Wild Molly 55-gallon tank. And if I just let that water drop a half inch, it starts making grinding noises.
Yeah,
So that thing's always got to be topped off.
it's very frustrating. I don't think I'm going to get any more of those. I'm going to stick with the
What do you,
AquaClear, even though that they have the problem with the restart on power outage. My 110s never have an issue. The AquaClear 110. They all use 110 for some reason. The top fin, those are the ones that they don't make anymore. Those are 110s. Uh,
Uh,
AquaClear 110s and the title 110.
I'm going to look up what the AquaClear 110 looks like. AquaClear 110.
It's got a great big media box, which is what I love about it.
Yeah.
I can't wait to get rid of these hang-on backs and switch over to air. Yeah, I'm not a fan of air. Just not. They don't For me. They don't do it. They're crap when it comes to cleaning the tank.
Well, they clean the tank, they don't get rid of the particulates. The
Right.
little things.
That's what I meant. Yeah. There's
You like
always
your water
shit
crystal
floating around.
clear.
So I like just pounding the polyfill in the back of my hang on the backs and sucking all that stuff right out of
You're a polisher. Have you
there.
tried any type of polisher, water polishers?
like chemical wise.
No, I've got a Marineland water polisher, and it is insane how it does. It will it has different types of cartridges or filters you can put in. Most time I just pack it with polyfill and maybe carbon. But there's also one that looks like a water softener cartridge. And it might be a water. It's probably just a one. But I used it on a tub, that 110 tub that was completely green from algae, and it cleaned that even. It was insane.
Huh.
Let me see if I can find it.
Yeah, window liquor. You really don't on a freshwater tank. You don't need that. That's why I'm like, why do they do that? Because saltwater people don't, as a rule, use hang on the backs, right? So
uh,
I don't. I mean, as a
actually,
rule.
Yeah,
That's what I have
and
for my saltwater tank.
I was gonna say I know Ed, Bob, was it Ginger Graves did too?
Maybe. I don't know. I never went to her
Was
house.
she? I think she was the one that had the 33 longs, right? That they went and picked up. But
Those
yeah,
are awesome. I'm just typing Marineland polisher to no one. Just typing it.
That doesn't work.
It doesn't. It's really weird.
B Wood, it sounds like you've never cleaned the impeller. I clean mine regularly. They do get junked up. Yeah, I have not. I'll be honest with you. I haven't, but that I haven't really had anything in that tank. There's nothing in there except for one tiny fish in 120 gallons. There's not even any. Hey, J Rock, there's not even any substrate in it. It's just a straight open tank with one big plant in it. That's I don't know. But it could be, it could very well be that it's gunked up, and I'll just have to take it apart and see if that's what it is. And then I'll owe John Hudson an apology for disparaging his favorite filter. Trying to find parts to replace my valve in my outside hose bib. I don't even know what that is. The valve in my outside hose bib.
Oops. Don't share what I'm showing you right now. I don't know what. Oh, there it is.
Oh, you want me to hold for a minute?
No, you can share it. I'm sorry. This is the water polisher. Let me go to it and I'll lift it up some.
Oh, I have seen this actually.
These things are insane. They just have that top is a big engine that sucks the water
Oh,
through
okay.
it and then spits it out. So it just forces it through whatever you have in there. So you can pack it with polyfill and you can even direct the water flow. So you could use it as a water flow type agent or, thing in your fish tank, but it's kind of big and ugly, but it's amazing how it cleans. This is what I use on aquascaping. It's a secret weapon that I have for cleaning my water to make it crystal clear. Because you put that on your aquascape, because a lot of times, your substrate makes it all dirty and cloudy. So, and the Marineland has the best polisher. It's amazing.
Have you tried the shark?
The shark. I own a couple sharks. I've never used it at a aquascaping competition, but it is smaller, so maybe
Yeah,
it would
that's
fit easier.
now I
But
haven't used this one, but the Marineland, but the shark, it cleared up my 35 gallon cube. I mean, overnight.
yeah, the thing with the shark is it's pulling the water from the bottom up, and this one pulls the water from the top. So it pulls it in, shoots it down and back out. So that way, you're farther away from the substrate.
Like it goes down and then back up because I can see
But
the
the water comes into the back of this thing right here.
yep.
And then it shoots out of here.
Yeah, but it must be going down to the bottom of
Yeah,
the filter.
this is probably one of the most powerful water pumps. It's a big one. And it shoots it down into this cylinder and then back up.
Gotcha.
I
Hey,
love
George.
mine. Absolutely loves it. I love it. But yep.
The faucet is $60. I can replace the insides for about half, hopefully. Oh, I got you. All right, buddy.
And they used to go on sale at PetSmart for half price a lot. Because a lot of people don't buy them because they're water polishers and people don't even know what that is. But you can get them for like $50. I bought mine for $50. I learned about it from Sean Peck because he uses them to make his tanks just look gorgeous. So
Well,
I did
maybe
the
I'll
same
look into
thing.
one. Although I cannot complain about that shark. Although that's, it's in the smaller tank. It's just 35 gallons.
Yeah, I
But
have a shark in my 75, and then I've got one in a, I think 9 or 8 gallon.
in a
So
9 or 8
sharks are
gallon
cool.
tank,
Yeah, a little shrimp tank.
that is a tiny guy. I use hang on the backs on my 75, 2 co-op pre-filter sponge on the bottom, lava rock and cocoa puff bio balls. Lucky bamboo
You
growing
know,
out the top. I had a
I
plant.
own. I'm sorry, keep
Cool.
going. My bad.
No, I was just reading what he said. But everybody can do that on their own.
I have the original shark, and it's more like a little bitty polisher because it takes it from the top, goes down. It's a round cylinder. The
Yeah, the
original
round one.
sharks.
Yeah. I have that too.
So that would probably be better because it won't disturb your substrate for if you got to do something real quick, you know.
Right.
But it is like a fraction of the size of the one the Marineland is. The Marineland one's like that big.
Do you
It's
remember
a good foot tall.
the old fashioned polishers that Marineland had? That it was a outside canister,
The Magnum.
the Magnum. Yep.
Yeah.
But
No.
man, that thing was so chintzy. I mean, the parts that kind of where it snapped on and the water came out and everything, I was always afraid I was going to break that shit.
Yeah, but they
Yeah,
look so good.
I could see
And I
that.
like how they were clear. You could
What's
see
that?
through them. I liked how they were clear and you could see
Yes.
through it.
Yeah, through the main body of the canister itself. Yeah. J
Yeah,
Rock says, I
I
got
wish
a
I
new
still
heater
had one.
design in the testing. It's not like anything I've ever seen. Dual tube heater can control the heating sides individually. Is that something that's coming out that they let you try out, or is that something that you've got a patent for? Because that would be pretty cool.
Yeah, it would.
For the bamboo maintenance, just watch flow if slows. Ah, yeah, that sounds cool. And what
Have
size
you
tank did
guys
you say with liquor? 70? I know
have you
you
guys
said
ever
somewhere.
used an external heater that the water goes through a tube
No.
and up? Like I've never used one either. I didn't see. I did research on them, and everybody said they only last like 2 to 3 years. They just don't last long. So
Whoa.
that's why I never bought one or tried one out. I wish I would get one that worked. And I love Awazi stuff because it's high quality, but their hang off the back is the most annoying hang off the back filter in the world because one little piece of sand shuts the whole thing down. Because they made it so it won't wear out the propellers. But what happens is it's constantly just shutting off, and then you got to take the whole thing apart. And I do not
I,
like. I have 4 or 5 of those things, and I'm not using any of them.
I found Aqueon is like that for me, my personal experience. I cannot keep Aqueon running. It's and if I used a pre-filter like what Liquor is talking about, it probably wouldn't be an issue. But cichlids, they love to pick up the substrate and spit it, and they're always, I don't know, they got some kind of weird thing in their brains. They're always spitting it into the intake. I can't tell you how many filters I've had to throw away, or I probably didn't have to throw away if I had just known anything about fixing things. But yeah, I dumped at least 5 canisters from Marineland. I dumped a couple from Sun, and then I can't even count how many hang on the backs I pitched because they just quit working. They just stopped. And I take them apart, and I clean everything off and put it back together, and it still wouldn't work. So rather than troubleshoot it, I pitched it and I bought another one.
Get it? I've pitched a lot that way just because I'm so annoyed.
Yes. But Aqueon is the number one fail in my fish room, personally. I know other people have had good luck with them. I think Skipper, are you the one that likes them? I can't remember. Somebody likes them.
No, I mean I use an Aquaman Whisper or whatever the hell they're called, but I prefer if I'm going to use a hang on the back, I'm actually going to use a Marine Land because what I like about them is whenever they're startup, I don't have no issue. They come right back. Also, there is a when your filters get too full, so to speak, that there's a slot that the water can overflow into the tank as opposed to on your floor.
Well, most of them have that. But yeah, Marineland, theirs is obvious. It's on either side of the uptake, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Unless it's a smaller one and you only have the one side.
Have either one of
Most
you
of
guys
mine
ever
are-
tried the Penguin?
To what?
The Penguin Whisper?
Yes, I've
I
got.
don't know if they're
two-
still using those or not.
They
They
are.
may have
They
discontinued them.
you can still buy them, but I think the stock must be probably getting low by now. Because
When they first came out, I got one to try out, and it broke like after it just stopped working 3 months, and I took the whole thing apart, and it was still pretty well clean. It wasn't like all gunked out or anything, so I don't know why it just stopped working. So I never did a review on it because I felt bad getting a free thing and then it just break. And then the guy Michael from Michael's Fish Room,
oh,
it
Captain
says it's not
Sourpuss.
half bad all the time. His caught on fire.
No kidding. I have those things are bulletproof for me. I've got Marineland 350s, the Penguin, that have been running for 8-9 years.
Well, this
Well,
is a new one. The Penguin was just it was a new upgrade. Kind of like when escorts totally re-changed their body or Mustangs. You know how they totally look different?
Yeah, but
They
this
change
is
everything.
the Penguin and the Emperor. It was the Penguin 350 forever, and then it's the Emperor 400, which is a little bit bigger, obviously. And then, but now they've just gone to the Pro, which is 375 Penguin, and the Emperor is the 450.
now is this a hang on the back or canister?
These are hang on the backs. The canister is a Magnaflow of a similar
Okay.
number. I think my Magnaflow is a 360, which is it can get confusing because you're talking about the Marineland 360, or are you talking about the Marineland 350? One's a canister, one's a hang on the back. So J-Rock says that heater he's looking at is supposedly no more cooking of fish, and it can accommodate a 10 to a 120. That's bold. I hope that works. Jose, drive careful, my friend.
They had one that they put out 3 years ago, and I think they took it off the market after 6 months. It was a real short-lived filter.
The biggest change they've made in the last couple of years was for these the 375 and the 450. They've moved the pump, the main, the pump, right? They've moved it from outside the tank to inside the tank. The problem with them is that they're too big. The intake tube is huge. Here, I can't even use it.
I'm trying to look for the one that they sent me. It might be this Marineland Pro 375. But I
That's what
think
this one.
they had to change it around. I think they had to. Yeah.
This
Okay.
is-
Turn it around.
This is the Marineland 375, and you can't
Yeah.
really see it because it's too dark. But you can. Can you see how big that intake tube is? It's
Yeah.
gigantic. And
I don't know if I
and
think
it
they had
doesn't.
to do modifications to when they went to that center pump. The original one went to hell, and they had to redo it.
That could be because this is
Which
right here.
one's that?
This part here. This is the Marineland 375 Pro.
Oh yeah, no, I use the Penguins with the bio wheel, but I take the bio wheel off.
Yeah, this has
Yeah,
that. See, and it has a lid that's attached now.
Oh yeah, the ones I use, nothing like that. Yeah, no.
But
Sorry.
this thing is too big. This is the space here is too narrow, so it can only go on a 55. It does not fit on my 75. And this is too
mine
big.
fit on my 75.
Oh, it did? This does not.
Yeah.
Unless my 75 has a weird
Or mine's
lip.
weird.
But the glass, on your glass hoods, it hits this before it can go into the slot. So you have to have it kind of like propped up, which is not a huge deal, but my OCD tends to
Oh, yeah. I
go
remember
crazy.
that now because I had to have it on the front of my fish tank.
On the front.
Yeah, because the door would prop up, on the front of my glass top.
Right.
Yeah, I remember that too. That was another thing that annoyed me about it. But I'm pretty sure that they had to remodel the engine because it was having like so many problems. This was like
That could be.
3 or 4 years ago. And
Because it did
now
take
they have a clear
forever.
top.
A clear top. Why?
Just so you could see the bio wheel spinning.
That's just dumb. Because the bio wheel is stupid if you really want to get into
it.
Like one spins and the other one doesn't. And
I got mine from Sean Peck. And because he got a couple and he was supposed to ask people to review them. And I got one and he got one and I don't know who else he gave him. But then when he found out Michael's caught on fire, he didn't even plug his in and didn't do a review. And then mine broke right away. So it's like,
So Lucas says,
we don't want to give you a review because all of my reviews came back bad. So we aren't going to give them to you.
Oh well.
Rather than bury your company, we're just going to not say anything.
Yeah. Maybe you need to rethink this one.
Wendell Liquor says, my 75 has been running. My 75 has been running over 4 years. I think the hang on the backs are titles. But if you want to go this way, just grab the hang on the back and a co-op pre-filter can fit. Right. I have heard that. I always thought that idea because I'm like, man, that's just ugly as hell. But
I love it.
You like to have that big filter in there?
Yeah. It works great.
But I'm sure it works. That's the thing. And then he goes on to say, if you want
sucked up and fry getting sucked up,
I don't have to worry about that. And if you set the hang on the back this way, you can put plants in the top, and fish can't get at them. You might have to put cheap plant light above. That I've actually done that, which is probably going to be too hard for you to see. But right back there, hiding, there's pothos growing out of the top of my top fin hang on the back.
My
And
niece is going to give me some pothos.
right there, but you can't see it at all out of that aqua clear 110. And I have grow lights hanging above them.
Oh, there's
Do you have anything
Jason.
growing on them?
Hmm.
What?
Huh?
Hey, look at you.
I was
Depth
saying
of knowledge
Jason.
there.
And Priscilla, and then Peplin's here. What was you doing?
And
Well,
Adele.
I didn't
Adele
hear.
is here. Hi, Adele.
Hey, Adele?
Oh, I didn't see her. Sorry.
Just use a zip tie. Hell, yeah, use that one. Just use a zip tie on the tube so the sponge stays on. Yeah,
I do
I
that
actually
too.
have to find. I have to find the. What the hell did I do with the thing?
And I actually used the zip tie on the hard tube and pulled the sponge filter over the zip tie, and the zip tie holds it in place because it makes it wider and it has a bump. So you kind of have to go and push it down in there, but then you don't have your sponge filter going whoop,
Right. Jason's here. You said Priscilla. Oh yeah, there's Priscilla
Oh my
right
God.
there. Hey Priscilla, lurking while trying to water my plants.
Jason, you
Hey,
hear
Pep.
about the new Godzilla movie? I'm not super excited about the bad guy in the next Godzilla movie because I think it's supposed to be Space Godzilla, and I think that's just a cheap knockoff.
Yep. Prodigal son in the house. So that's where I'm at anyway. I wish I could use this guy, but I don't have anything small enough to really put it on. Uh-oh.
What about
is
that little cube?
That's it's a rimless tank. It's not. I can't put anything on there. It would look gaudy.
Those rimless tanks.
I know. It's all foo-foo. It's my only foo-foo tank.
I'm about I'm trying to think. Next Friday, I have another prom to do.
Whoa.
Hey, Dreams.
$150 to put toward fish stuff. I'm thinking about buying some tanks, I think.
When you do a prom?
I'm doing the traffic for it.
Oh, that's not bad at all. I'd rather do that at a prom.
Well,
I was wondering if
where
you had
else
to like.
You get? No, see, it's $50 in 2 hours. I mean, yeah, my job now, but a side gig that's kind of hard to get.
Sure, you could work an auction.
Any of
Yeah,
you
but
new
I'm
guys
working
coming in, just hit me up. Type in there what size tank you got and what kind of filtration you got going on. That's this. Priscilla says, "Hey, I am sending Skipper some pics. Maybe you can show Ed the CO2."
Okay.
That's inside information, I think.
Dude, I am so wore out, but I got so much to do today, here this evening. Oh. I have to drink some beer to wake me up.
Right?
After this, I have to take Mom out to the brand new grocery store that came into town. Well, it's actually, we had a Food City in town, but they just built a giant mega Food City, and she wants me to take her. But she tore something in the back of her leg a few days ago.
Ugh.
One of her tendons. She was picking up a lizard, and while she was holding it, it started doing a death roll in her hand. So she dropped it, and then she went to grab it again, and that's when she felt the pop in her leg. So I don't think she should be walking, but she really wants to see this grocery store.
Just let me know where you're sending it to, Priscilla. Oh, I bet.
Maybe it's,
Mm.
Jason said that he saw that there's another Kong versus Godzilla movie coming too.
oh wow. That Jason's a pretty cool guy.
He said, I attempted to drill some glass 5-gallon tanks. I don't recommend it. The glass is extremely thin and cracks easy. I'm going to have to come up with something else.
I learned how to do it in a 10-gallon, and I could imagine a 5.
I learned on 55s, and I've done 40s.
Skitty!
But 55s, you got to be careful because some 55-gallon tanks are super thick. It's really dumb. Now I could go for some spaghetti.
Greetings and salutations.
Was it just 2 pictures, Priscilla? She
What
sent
did I
it.
miss?
I put it down in there.
You waving at me?
Yeah, I put the picture she wanted to show Ed.
Oh,
Oh, nice. Is that one of those homemade jobbers? Where does she get her citrus
Yeah,
powder?
this is. Oh, I don't know what that is. But there's
I've got
what
mine
it's doing
downstairs.
in it.
Wow. Yeah, that looks amazing. Except Whip would hate it because it looks like particulates. That's awesome. I got to do that. I've got the whole setup. I was going to do it on a 40 gallon tank and turn it into just a pretty plant tank. Ooh, I know what
Can
to
you
do.
explain that?
Yeah, so what you do is the bottom container that's, the bottom unscrews from the top. The top is just what regulates how much CO2 is coming out.
Yeah, I see.
And you pour like 3 teaspoons of citrus, and I think you put like 3 teaspoons of
But it tells you what to
baking
do.
soda.
Okay.
And I'm just guessing on 3 teaspoons. I have no idea. But it's neat how the instructions were on the tank. Mine's not on the tank like that. It's in the box. Because if it's on the tank, then you're never going to lose it. See, look, the instructions are all on that tank.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure you could look it up. And
I've got the one with the green top instead of the light blue. See, like where it screws in.
yeah.
Nico wants in. I'm going to go get him real quick. I'm just going to step 10 feet away.
I might have to get going here soon.
that's fine.
I
I'm
just
not
like
at work. Yeah, that's fine. If you got shit to do, you got to get her done.
yeah. No, I gotta. It's just me and the kids right now. So she's at work and she has a wedding tonight that she's, they serve food and all that stuff. So the event coordinator that she can have that job. I never want that. But so it's just me and the kids. I want to mow real quick. Then I'm gonna cook us hamburgers, hot dogs, and sausage on the pellet grill.
Gotcha.
Hey, Jeff Rose, how did the moss go that I sent you? Did it die or did it flourish? It's just the little bit of moss that was on that little plastic thingy one.
Mm.
But I do like when I send plants, I put a paper towel in there, and so I just rolled a little bit of a wet paper towel and dropped it on top.
He said it made it.
Nice.
Jason and Pep have they're coming up with a plan here.
You know what I'm using for 3-gallon tanks for fry
Nancy
aren't
B.
glass at all. They're plastic. They're food
Oh,
grade plastic. Oh, go ahead.
we gotta ask her a question real quick.
Oh yeah, I kind of told her about it.
Maybe. Did she get all upset about it?
Man,
And say,
she was so mad. I'm surprised she's here.
Yeah, that. I don't know what the hell you two were just talking about.
Because I told her, I said, hey, I volunteered you as a recipient of an ed
project.
bonsai tree holder, and you got to go get. I got voluntold.
Got them all right here. I need to paint those this evening. Well, so what you have to do, Nancy, is I will mail you one of these, and you have to. It's a bonsai holder, but you've got a bonsai means plant and pot. And so you have to put a plant in it and put it in your fish tank, or you don't even have to put it in your fish tank if you don't want. You can put it in a glass bowl without fish, maybe with some shrimps. But put some type of plant in it and then submit an image of it. So you have to take a photo and send it to my Facebook. And sometime, like, did we say in June or July? I think it was around July 4th.
I might have been drifting when you said a time.
Yeah, well,
Nancy,
either
that's
the end
what I
of
said.
June. What did Nancy say?
That's so tiny. What do I put in it?
Well, that's the thing is, he's really into nano stuff.
I don't think.
I mean,
if you're looking at for this for rack though, he doesn't. It doesn't have to be in water at all, does it?
No, this does.
Well, we were gonna do an aquatic one.
Okay.
But actually, I don't know if this is 3. Let's see, how much is this? 1 ounce. Okay, I bet you this is at least 2 ounces because I could, probably 1.5 ounces. So you can put whatever you want in there for a substrate. Like you could put some castings in there from worm castings, and then a little bit of organic soil, and then top it off with some rock or sand and put one plant and grow it out. And I tell you what, it's going to do great. You could even drop like one fertilizer pellet in there and then fill it with substrate, there's rocks and pebbles, and plant something in it. But the whole idea is to make it look or get points. We're just doing it for a bonsai competition.
Shot of bonsai, got it.
Yep.
Well, fellas, I hate to do this to you, but I gotta go.
All right, buddy. Just be careful out there mowing that lawn. Don't take an eye out.
Thank you for having me up. Nice seeing you guys again.
Good seeing you.
Wow, 2 times in a week.
I know, right?
That's awesome.
It's crazy.
Oh, did you know that
Right,
Rico had a show yesterday?
He did.
yeah, I know. I watched it. I was there. I don't know where you was. You must have been sleeping.
Yeah, you must have been sleeping. Yeah.
No, it wasn't even
rude.
in the house. Somebody could have texted me. I was driving around.
I did text you.
So was I.
No, I probably didn't.
Well, that's nice.
But he was on. He was on the. Yeah, he. I think he texted. No, maybe he did. I don't remember.
All right.
Anyway,
Gotta go.
we'll talk to you later. Bye. Bye.
when I'm out
Now,
shopping and driving and stuff,
hold that thought for
if
one
I don't
second.
check my phone.
Not to be replaced, but we have guest number 3 who just came in as Skipper was leaving. The one and only
Somebody
Aquarium
text me this weird
Domain.
link.
What's
Hey,
that?
partner.
I said somebody text me this weird link. I just clicked on it. know what's going
That's
I'm
always
glad
a
you're wearing
smart
a
thing
shirt.
to do.
on.
I am wearing a shirt.
No, I
Actually.
meant Jeremy. Jeremy could have hit the link while I was sitting on the toilet or about to jump in the shower or something.
You just
Well,
well, you
we
know
should
that I have no
embarrass
pants
Mike.
on. I got the shirt, but no pants. So. Got to keep the camera up here.
Yeah, right. So, in case anybody doesn't know, Jeremy is Aquarium Domain. And if
Let's
you're
see,
not
I'm on the
subbing in,
Yeah,
you
phone.
it's
should
been
be.
remonetized. I got my monetization back.
Yeah, I was watching the show Thursday night.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You had budget on.
Yeah.
Well, yep. Oh yeah, that's right. And we even talked to you.
You
I
did.
remember asking if you wanted one of these little pots. But yep, they told me in the letter what I did wrong. You know, are you ready? And it's like, why didn't they do that 3 months ago? You know, for re-showing the same video. They should have just said that the first time and it would have made life a lot easier and less stressful.
Yeah. Way easier because then you would have known what was going on and everything.
Yeah.
Or contact me on my petition and at least say, there's 152,000 people ahead of you on the queue or anything,
Right. Jeffro would just throw a tiger lily in there. I think they get bigger than that thing is. My 55-gallon Angel Glow Daniel Star Wars tank, two small canisters on a 55.
I'd like to see that fish tank.
Yeah, you're gonna have to send in a video or something.
Who's got the
Priscilla?
Star Wars?
That was liquor. And then Priscilla says, I'm buying myself a bonsai tomorrow at Mother's Day, or for Mother's Day. GRB's here. Hey, buddy.
I gotta make a window liquor action figure. I need to write that down just because his name is so amazing.
So I was driving down the road and I heard you talking about drilling holes in the tanks.
Yeah,
Making it seem like
and that's Skip Jason from Depths Unknown. He said he was drilling up 5-gallon tanks and it's not going so great, I guess.
I drill holes in my tanks all the time, man.
Yeah,
You just drill the hole, patch it up with a little pond shield, put a bit.
Well,
Oh, he's talking about the glass part. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't do that.
I take clay and I make a little moat, or a little, not really a moat, but like a pool. So that way the water goes in there and you don't have to keep spraying it when you drill them. And I do that for if I'm drilling a slate or rock or something too. It works great for keeping that bit wet. So that's my tip.
How do you keep the water in there without it leaking out the bottom?
Well, you put the clay around it.
Yeah, but like what?
Once you drill through, you can stop.
I got
when
it.
the water goes through, you're done.
Not like a hardened clay, just something that's sticking to the
just putty.
Putty, yeah.
Yep. I've actually even used this stuff. Just not big.
Hey Susan, how are you doing?
If you're doing a little tank, you just submerge the entire tank. You just use an extension on the drill bit, and the whole thing's underwater.
I'm not sure that's a good idea. The whole thing?
The whole tank, yeah.
Oh.
What I use for if he just wants little tanks for
like 5-10 gallons, stuff like that.
I have found that the animal crackers, they're a perfect 3-gallon food grade plastic, clear, square. You can drill right through those if you need. And
If you ever
super easy to
watch
get plastic.
like glass manufacturing, when they drill holes in them, the sheet of glass, it's all the whole thing's underwater.
Oh wow, I haven't seen that.
Barely, you know. It's like if the glass is a half-inch thick, the water's 3/4 of an inch or something, you know. And they drill it, and then it comes out, and they blast it with air or whatever, or air and water or something like that.
I drove by a glass factory in Arkansas once, and they had all this giant rocks of glass that sometimes you can find at a pet store or fish store. You know, they sell them. I wish I would have bought some because they were super cheap and they looked like really cool clear rocks of all different colors. It was neat. I have.
So Fish Dreams is having a issue. They have a Tanganyikan cichlid 125 that where the babies are all going over the two overflows, driving them crazy.
Oh no.
I feel that pain, man. Like I like sumps, and
Yeah.
with little fish, you just can't have them because they'll always get sucked up over the overflow.
Yep.
And then if you
know
put in
what
like
I-
a collar mat or something, it'll keep them out, but you got to be replacing that all the time. You know, it's always getting clogged.
What I use to keep them from going into my sump is, you know, those little baskets that the plants come in if you buy a plant in that. It's not steel wool. What's that stuff called? Well, that's hard stuff, but it's always in a plastic that's got the little like lines so water goes right through it. You know what I'm talking about? The little baskets that plants come in.
Yeah,
You
I
can
have a couple of
pop
them
that
right over there.
right over the hole. You can stick it in the hole if it's that big of a hole, or pop it on the outside, and then it'll keep those little guys from going in because it keeps guppies from going in.
Complete
Actually, I don't have
left-
guppies in there. I have rice fish.
This is a complete left-hand turn, but Susan is asking you a question that I'm curious to know too.
Oh, what is it?
Did you feel the
Did you feel the earthquake today? No, Oinky asked me too, and I did not feel it at all. What
'Cause they
time
said
was it?
They said they felt it in Spencer, where I bought my property, and you're not
Time
that
was the
far away from there.
Yeah, I mean,
90-gallon cichlid tank, way overkill with FX6 and a knockoff FX5. Is that the Sun? The one that was supposed to be just as good?
Minus the leaking.
Right.
At least every sunset I ever had.
Everyone that I've had
doesn't
to.
look like the waves got to Chattanooga.
Oh no. So the people in Spencer were lying their butts off. Yeah, we felt it.
You got to cut them a slack. Wib. Not a lot happens in Spencer. They need to climb onto something when they can. You know.
Right? Yeah, that is not.
Ooh,
You are
right,
not wrong.
Now we're like Californians. They'll probably make T-shirts.
Bigger
We
fish is the
survived the
solution.
earthquake of 2025.
That.
I wish I would have, Susan, though, because I felt an earthquake once when I was in Illinois. I was in math or biology class, and I was sitting on my desk, and I kind of had my feet up on the desk in front of me, so it was kind of a wiry type desk. And all of a sudden, it just started going like this, and there was a earthquake in Mount Vernon, and Illinois, and I could feel it in Columbia, Illinois. In the middle of, and I even wrote down the time. I said, "This is weird."
Well, there's a name I'm unfamiliar with.
Nancy B.
No, FW ish.
Wish list.
I don't recognize your name or your emblem, but welcome aboard. And I wonder if Holly is still listening. Sorry, I didn't mean to use your real name. But if you're still listening, did you feel a second earthquake during a Metallica concert?
Oh.
Maybe it was just Metallica playing really loud. Dang Californians moving here, bringing their earthquakes with.
Talking about fish wishes lists, Jeremy, if you could have a like a list of fish that you don't have right now that you would like to have, what would be on the top of that list?
White spotted bamboo shark, leopard shark,
Oh,
maybe a gray smoothhound shark. Those
so-
are all the ones that are hard to
Right.
source. So
What is the question?
oh. Because well, Jeremy can have like any fish in the world because
Well,
he's
no, I
got
can't. That-
a lot
A
lot
lot.
more than I. And I asked him what fish would he love to have on his wish list.
Oh, so realistic fish.
Yeah.
Because I'll tell you what, if I ever get wealthy, like if I hit the lottery, I'm going to build an aquarium size tank, and I want a bull shark. I want a bull shark so bad. Those things are
That's a bamboo shark.
yep.
yeah, that's just brown bait.
And
I have a bunch of
I
those.
already
Yeah, you do.
oh, that sucks.
And more coming.
Actually, unfortunately, I
Yours is a
mass
white-
produce them. They keep having babies.
a white
My struggle is
spotted
finding
bamboo
homes.
shark.
Yeah.
Have you hatched any yet?
Previous batch, the current batch will be due in around 118 days from 2 weeks ago. So something give or take, but they're in the estuary, so they should be all right in there. I got some fish growing out in the estuary that are going to be in the big tank eventually.
the
So I can
stripes
get
don't go
that.
all the way around.
Yeah, they have quite a different look when they're bigger. The only place I've found that I can get them right now is from a place that supplies aquariums, and the minimum quantity for the order is 6. I don't want 6 of them, so
So fish wish. That's not what even his name. Wish list says it was Metallica playing Sandman, Enter Sandman, registered a 3 on the scale.
yeah, they just played Blacksburg, right, Virginia.
One more.
Virginia
How you
Tech.
doing?
This is their habitats where we could find them in the wild.
Yeah,
Look,
But even
in
the
Japan.
black tip, I love the black tip. Even I just love those top surface cruisers that kind of just hang around the top. But they get so big, you gotta have basically like a 58,000 gallon pool pond to have one to keep it right. I mean, I know people put them in smaller tanks, but
yeah. If you go cylinder with a black tip, then you can maybe 15, 20 foot, diameter. But I don't know. It's not as cool in my opinion because they just sort of do that swim around the middle thing nonstop.
yeah, which is
You
kind
see
of what
'em-
I like about them.
Well, that's public. It's a zoo here, but they have a aquarium part of it. They have like a wide, like I don't know how wide it is, maybe like 50 feet wide and 20 feet front to back, and it's made to look like a coastal area. And it has black tips in it. You see them out in the deeper and coming up in the front. And everything. It's pretty wild. It's a whole different sort of feel than just doing this,
Yeah, yeah.
And that's
Hey,
kind of
Uncle,
what they do in the wild.
looks like Uncle Smiley just got home from a SWAT meeting
Awesome.
or a club meeting.
Uncle Smiley's one cool dude.
What is this?
Yeah, I don't know if I told you, Whip, but I put an order into an aquarium place and I didn't realize they're like a wholesaler for public aquariums.
I think you
So
didn't you mention that. Where were you at? I just watched you said that to somebody.
Okay, yeah.
You
Well,
said it to Mike. I dropped down so you could come up. Whatever day that was.
Yeah. MNC, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was pretty psyched with that because there's a lot of I sent them a big list and they replied back and everything, and they just said, "Yeah, we'll let you know when we get the stuff in." So it's pretty cool.
That was after the fact when you were like, "What aquarium are you with?" And I'm like, "My own."
Yeah, that was like an hour phone call because the dude is a hobbyist too, and the guy's got sweet connections. He's basically he catches stuff out of the Caribbean and then he transships stuff in from Asia and other places, and the west coast of America. So it seems like a good connect to have.
That's
Hey,
awesome.
Laura. Aquarium Domain, a couple hundred candy cane tetras would look good in the new 1200.
It's going to take a couple hundred to make a difference, man. I was blown away. I put 150 in there and it looks like nothing. And the funny thing is, I thought maybe the Geos picked off some of the blood fins because for a little while it looked like I was seeing less, but I was looking at it last night. I don't think they picked off one of them. They just were all up in the plants in the back. I just couldn't see them, But they're all out about now. So
That's awesome.
And what were these?
I got 50 Von Rio tetra, 50 bloodfin tetra, and 50 silvertip tetra, and put them in there all. I grew them up for a couple months, get them big enough, put them in there all one time, and it was in my last video. It was like super anticlimactic. It looked like nothing, I mean, it was just like it didn't really didn't change the look of the tank at all.
I will catch that on my earliest opportunity, but this week has just been terrible. But I did see you.
But you'll see, in the video, it has no impact at all. You're just looking at the tank. You're like, it looks exactly like it did before, But anyway, they're all good, which is good. But it's going to take 1,000 of them, I think.
Mrs. Whipple's here. This is Jeremy. This is who I stayed with when I went to Ohio. Hey.
Hello. Actually, the very first clash, your wife was with you, Whip. I remember. Yep.
But I don't know if we said too much to each other that time. Did we? Maybe we did. I was pretty drunk that time around.
We didn't stay there.
And I didn't stay there. We were staying outside.
Yeah, we stayed at the other hotel,
stinks.
and then we went and hanged with Roger and Lisa. Right.
I will never do that again because that kind of ruined the.
I think this year at the Clash is going to be epic because it seems like it's bringing in everybody this year.
Yep. Oh, there's going to be so many people there.
I think their overflow hotel was already full too.
Oh, wow.
The one that's 15 minutes down the road's all full.
I was really getting worried about it because I always get a ground floor one because of my bad leg. Oh, and it's just hard to go downstairs if there'd be a fire or something. And I couldn't ever get a hold of them to say that I was on the ground floor. But Scotty was able to look it up. And he said, yeah, I'm on the ground floor because he has everybody's room number.
I always get the fourth floor because Saturday night somebody sits down there and sings and makes a ruckus till real late. You know
what? You can actually, I think, hear it easier upstairs than you can downstairs. Because your windows are facing.
Actually, last year my room was the window directly above where that was happening on the fourth floor. But obviously, I was there down with you guys, so it didn't matter.
Dude.
Wish. I think we have Dr. Ted on the show in 2 weeks.
He's going to be there.
Hey, Whip, before I forget.
Yeah.
Am I crazy or like your last 3 streams before the streams happened, you said they weren't going to happen in other places?
Yes, because things keep changing on me. I had it planned where I was going to be doing some electrical work with a buddy of mine. He finished at like 12:30. I'm like, well, crap. I guess I can still go.
Okay.
I
Make sure I
honestly,
wasn't getting senile here. I was like, did he
No.
just say he wasn't doing this?
yeah. And then last Saturday, did I go last Saturday? Yes, because I had to work, but they cut us loose early. We got finished, and they're like, we'll just pay you for the day. Go home. I'm like, all right.
And then I think you did an impromptu Sunday too, one
Yes, that maybe it
like
was 2 weeks
before.
ago. That's a Saturday, and then on Sunday,
Yeah,
yeah, because that was right before M&C. I ended so that I could jump up on M&Cs.
It's an interesting strategy to grow the channel. Make it really hard to find out if anything's happening or not.
Right.
Tell the
I
opposite, you know.
I'm terrible. I'm terrible at that.
If they can find me, they can watch it.
Yeah, right. And the numbers are showing it today because I've been hovering around 20 to 25 here most of the.
This is a tough part of the year, man. Look at the weather outside, you know.
I know, right?
Oh
Like,
yeah.
I'm not
Everybody
not in the
outside
fish room.
mowing
I'm
or
sitting on the roof of the fish room.
What? I'm in my sunroom because it's so beautiful here.
Yeah.
Look,
All
my
right, I will-
trees are kind of more blue-green than yours.
I'll try to say that I remember that, Jake, but no promises. I am not good at remembering the real names unless your real name is in your YouTube name. But I like LJ. I know her name and Lori, and there's a couple
How
of
about
them.
Susan's real name?
Susan's name is Becky.
I didn't know that.
It's not.
I have
Big-
such a hard
big
time
Jake.
remembering all the names, and then you got some of those people that keep changing their channel name all the time. It's
Yeah,
like,
Melvin. I love that guy, but
That's
he's
the one I feel really bad about.
he's
it's like you're
always
killing me.
Liquor says, I think big tanks are really cool, but you forget what it costs to fill them. Even a 55 can add up. Yeah, I'm on a well, so it doesn't cost me anything. So,
He might be
Well,
livestock
but
though.
maybe, yeah,
but
that's what.
livestock, yes. If he's talking
Yeah.
livestock,
And
then yes.
substrate and everything, just it all adds up.
Hey, Tommy Gunn.
I mean, for me, like the decor and the substrate and everything, I get everything from landscape supply places, so it makes the price right. It's, you know, I don't really shop at fish stores, stuff like that, but the stocking, like even if a fish costs $2, if you need 200 of them, you know, then
Check it out.
also
I made an
feeding
arch
them.
with the pots.
Hey,
Isn't that crazy?
Grave
There's one
digger.
pot
That's what I
left
usually
over.
have to do too. I don't have that many tanks. I just have, well, it's hard for me to say I have big tanks when I'm here with Jeremy, but I have most of my tanks are over 100 gallons, so it takes me a while to do the
I
12 that
only
I
have
got.
2 tanks over 100, and they're even small. They're just I have a 200 and 120.
I'm one of the few
I'm a
million
twerp.
that don't mix us up with Latoya. Well, I gotta say, I did struggle with that early on because you two were everywhere together all the time, and I'm like, all right, which one's which again?
Is Latoya's lake to land?
Yes.
So I used to live in north of Tampa, right next to a place called Lando Lakes. And like for the longest time, I'd see her channel name and always think Lando Lakes.
Yep. That's
Yeah, me
why
too.
that's why Dr. Awesome says calls her butter.
Yeah, I lived right
You know,
like just north of Carrollwood, up Dale Mabry, and right across the street was Lando Lakes.
I found a Jody P head yesterday at Ollie's. And I haven't painted the hair, but you guys want to see what she's going to look like because she was requested to be somebody's head's assassin.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Hey,
So
Ed, do you
when I
think
dye
there's
that, or paint that hair?
you think there's some possible synergy between you and Outside In Aquatics with the cards and the figures?
You know how he
They
does
got
the
bigger?
He does like the trading cards. And
Yeah,
you have the
those are
action
awesome.
figure.
You guys
Yeah, I
need to
don't
get
know.
together.
Like,
I'm having that'd be
like,
funny.
could you make an action figure that looked like one of those wacky trading card looking people?
Oh yeah, I could make anything.
Could be like a
Well, I
bonus
shouldn't say
sort of
like
thing,
that.
like every 20 packs you get an action figure or something. Yeah,
That would
collect
cost
them
me
all.
so much. Because
Well,
an action, I put like at least $20 into every action figure.
well, that's
at
what I'm saying. It'd
least.
have to be a lot of packs, so maybe not 20, maybe 50 packs or 100 packs or whatever.
What-
So
And then I
absorb the
don't
cost of
sell
the
'em.
packs. Huh?
I'm going to start doing a mini series of shorts, like telling, like once I get her done, I'll have her story and what team she fights for, kind of like in the comic books, how everybody has like a little bio. So I thought I would do bios of all my action figures. Someday I'll find a Jeremy and it'll be awesome.
Is she smaller than your normal action figures? It looks small when you just held it up there.
Well, she's probably 5.5 inches because most action figures, they're based off of 6 foot, and the girls are a little shorter. Like here's the wrestler that she was on originally, and she is a 6 foot
Significantly.
wrestler.
Yeah.
For some reason,
Except
I thought
the
like
head
the
was
Dr. Awesome one seemed tall or big or something.
he's about 6 inches. Not rack, but whips is about 6.5 because it's 1 to 12 scale. So that's why girls are about 5 foot to 5 foot, or
Although
4,
having met
5
her,
inches, 4 inches.
she is not a short
Five-
girl. Although
Well,
that's not horribly short. So
let's see if I've got a ruler here, I could see exactly how tall this would be in human height.
LJ says that Latoya's kids are named Lakeland and Landon. So that's probably where the either the name came from. It had to been her YouTube name came from the kids because those kids
So
are a little.
nothing to do with actual lakes and land, nothing to do with cities in Florida.
I guess not.
Okay, she would
Danny.
be
Hey Mel, how you doing?
5'8". This action figure would be 5'8".
Working and lurking on a Saturday afternoon. Good golly. Take a break. Take a break, Mel. Come hang out with us.
And maybe some girl will be this action figure, but I doubt it. I don't think I could make a fish fan person having their underwear showing.
Yeah, that would be a little bit awkward.
But the head was really good.
See, just
I
for
can think of a
instance,
fish person that would work, but they're not in the fish fam. But
Oh gosh.
Jake, just for an example here, I see Uncle Smiley saying hi to Don. I have no idea who Don is.
I'm gonna
Which one
make
of
an
you is
Uncle
Don?
Smiley someday too.
he probably means like Ed's like the Don, like the Mafia
Oh,
Don,
maybe that's
Oh,
what he's talking about.
Yeah.
Tennessee
I'm
Mafia,
the
maybe.
Megalodon. I'm the Megalodon. And there's John. Speaking of Megalodons.
Well, who's the Don of the Tennessee Mafia? Fish Mafia.
That would be me. That'd be
There
me.
you go. You're the Don.
Because that's why I got Megalodon. For the name. That's pretty cool. I think so.
What is this?
Huh?
An RV water filter can screw on a python, takes iron, rust, and chlorine out of the water. Bought some, clears up my well water. I need something that'll pull nitrates out of my water. My nitrates are so freaking high right out of the tap. It's unbelievable.
Whole house carbon block filter, Rip. That's what you need.
That's what I
Real
need.
big.
Or at least one line, right? It's like if you don't need it the rest of the house, put one line with a carbon block filter and just use that line for fish tanks.
Yeah, that's the
That's what
plan.
LRB had.
I just
in
need to get a
Indy.
plumber over here to make it happen. Because I cannot.
Yeah,
be
maybe you just come off your inside thing. I mean, it'd be pretty easy actually if you're just trying to do it for fish tanks.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to bring it right in out over here. bring it right around. Maybe I could even, I don't know. We'll figure something out. But if I do the RO thing, which is a bigger pain in the butt, but I might even buy a second water heater just so that I can use it to fill the tanks without letting it set for for a day or whatever to get the up to at least ambient temperature, because it comes out of the faucet pretty cold if I don't add hot
What?
water.
When I first bought this house, the basement was unfinished, so I finished it myself. And one of the things I did was I ran 3/4 inch plumbing lines to all over the basement up in the ceiling. So where all the big tanks are, there's water right there. You could just reach up and go like that right into the tank.
Awesome.
Uh,
I
prodigal,
have the
prodigal
water line.
aquarist is Don. He's the man named Don. He is not known as Groot. I
You know
noticed
what?
the difference in my fish. They seem to love it. Well, I can certainly give it a shot. It can't hurt. Hey,
I don't
Mac.
mean to be a jerk, but I think my mom's trying to get me to take her. She's looking at me through the
Can she
French
wait 15
windows
minutes,
here.
or do you want to go?
Let me yell to her.
Okay. Otherwise, you and I can handle this.
I can read Ed's lips. He's like, "God damn it, Mom!
Can't hear
I'm
it.
on a live
Can't
stream."
hear anything. I'll be right back.
Okay. Meatloaf.
That's what I was thinking of, the Wedding Crashers guy. When are you moving to Tennessee, man? You got to get down there. Be a lot closer to me than Northern Illinois.
Yeah, that's for sure. It won't be for a couple of years, probably. My wife wants
She
to
said no problem.
retire first. Are you sure? Because I mean, we can handle this if you need to go.
Nope. She was looking at me like, I think she doesn't want me to be here all day. But I said, can I do 15 more minutes? And she said yes.
Okay.
Well, and then she said, you can go all day. All right, I don't care. It's like, yeah, right.
I
She's
thought
just
Whip
being
was
sweet.
wearing a Klingon mask in the thumbnail. Yeah, that's my. I was doing some character art, just playing around with AI, and it gave me that off a picture of me I had taken a couple years back. It's
I
my.
forgot
Was
to
it
send
the-
them to you, but I was working on a bunch more of the thumbnails for you, Whip. Some are pretty funny.
That's awesome. Thank you.
Oh, I'm sorry, Whip, and I still haven't shown you how to make thumbnails.
Yeah, well, I haven't really had the time lately. I was hoping to have yesterday off so that I could play around with some of that stuff, but they called me in. I ended up working. Chickens don't have lips. They do not.
They're still
There's
delicious.
Stephen P. coming in for the last 12 minutes.
Stephen P. 1, 2, 3.
I don't
Have you
know
always had
if Shirley is still trying to follow me up with her live streams. I don't know that she is or not, but if she is, that's why I try to get off at 4 now. 4 my time.
Yep.
5 years.
You always have the timer going up there, Whip? I don't remember that. On screen?
It's just a feature. That's just a feature on all StreamYards.
Right.
Really?
The people on YouTube can't see that. Just you. And me.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. It's like, I don't remember seeing that before.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
That's a StreamYard thing.
Gotcha.
With some people, if you don't pay a monthly charge, you only have so much time.
Right.
Like, so they
Is
have
it
to really
15
monitor
hours?
it.
I think you get 15 hours a month. Something
I
like
honestly have no idea. Oh my gosh!
Hey,
And there's
Nano.
Budget Bonsai himself.
Stop it now.
I'm dead serious.
He's not kidding.
He's not
I'm
there. He
holding
is.
the things. I'm gonna paint them tonight. I was gonna paint them during this stream, but then I thought he canceled the stream, but then he didn't cancel the stream.
Yep.
And I came late.
I honestly did not know I was going to go until like 45 minutes before I went. I jumped in the shower and I said, if I can get there, I'm going to get there. And I think I was like 2 or 3 minutes late, even for the time I had it scheduled, but it worked out.
I need to get the list from Skipper of all the people I'm supposed to send them to.
And hello, Rack. I didn't actually acknowledge you other than to say there's no way. How you doing, Rack? It's been a whole 3 days since I last talked to you. So
Took
what's
1 day, right?
Thursday?
Big
Yeah.
Big
And then you
Steve
missed
was
Friday,
one of
and
the
then today's
people.
Saturday.
2 days. Yeah. Losing track of time.
I think Big Steve was like the first person to volunteer to take one, didn't he?
I don't remember anymore. I know you
Yeah.
volunteered me, even though I can't grow a plant to save my life. But I'll try.
Huh?
I'll give it a go.
Oh, well, I was going to grow yours for you.
Oh, okay. I like that even better.
You- We'll just do a live stream from Rob's, and you'll pick a plant.
All right. Still
In that case,
recovering
Whip,
from our last chat. What?
you should have him grow 4 or 5 for you. You know,
Yeah.
increase your odds.
So
And then I'll give it to him
what do
when
you
he
got
moves here.
going on in your fish room? I know you've been hammering away at that thing. You've got like 3 or 4 different projects happening.
I'm doing some cleanup. All the Africans got moved out of the 125 into their new tank 750. So
And then-
that the 125 is the one that had the leaking sump, and it's like a whole mess under there. But it's also full of plants and stuff. So I'm just relocating all the stuff, get it all cleaned up. Sort of.
And are you gonna tear that out of there? Or are you gonna just redo the whole thing? How what are you doing with the leak?
Well, yeah. I mean, the leak was with the sump, so the tank is fine and everything. In fact, with the sump, it was just with a liner. It was one of those cheap ass liners from Amazon. It was a
Yeah.
mistake getting they're worthless. But at any rate, I have the tank still running and everything because it's got plants and everything. So I'll redo it pretty quick. I'm just trying to decide. I'm probably gonna make it like nano fish and stuff because near my desk and it's just a 125. So
Just it's just a 125.
I mean, what else could you put in it other than nano fish, really? You know. So.
Yeah.
Well, and it's the only tank I could really appreciate the nano fish because it's close enough to where I'm sitting. I can, you know what I mean, look at them.
You can actually see what you're looking at. Yeah.
Well, you know, a lot of times when I'm looking at a lot of my tanks, you know, you can see this fish from far away, you know. So nano tanks,
Now,
you gotta
what-
sort of be right there.
What type of filtration will you put on your 125 nano tank?
Well, that's the thing is right now it's got a overflow, but you know, it's got the big grates on it. And if you block the grates, then you prevent everything from overflowing into the first part of the sump where it's supposed to pick that stuff up. So you end up cleaning that thing constantly. And then if you don't have that, you're going to be sucking nanofish over. They're all going to end up in the sump basically at the end of a week, you know? So,
Right.
I don't really want to go no filter because what happens then is you'll build up a ton of mulm in the bottom of the tank, you know? You got to clean out the mulm. So I might actually put a canister on it or a hang on the back or something. Something like that.
Sounds good.
Canisters are good for a 125.
Like I said, it's going to be heavily planted and only little fish. So the load should be minimal. I just want something to pick up the mulm, you know.
Yeah, that's what I like about it too. That's what she said.
I'm still pulling baby African cichlids out of it though. Like I catch everything. I look around, I can't see anything. A day goes by, 2 or 3 more little baby African cichlids, you know, catch them, rinse and repeat, you know. So I'll keep going until I can't find any more of them.
Wonder.
Are they just are you pulling an Ohio Fish Rescue where they're just kind of showing up in places they shouldn't be at, or
No, I mean my tanks aren't all connected like that. So that would be one hell of a feat, you know.
Yeah,
if they could do that.
right.
Plus, if they jump in the wrong tank, they'll end up in salt water, so that won't work out. So
That would definitely not work out for them.
I'm kind of striped. Like there's a big stripe of saltwater tanks, stripe of freshwater, and then another stripe of freshwater. So it could go bad for them.
Yeah, very bad. Or if they jump into the wrong tank, they just instantly become dinner.
You think that would happen over at OFR, right? With most of their tanks are predator
Well,
fish.
that was my query to you. The reasoning for it when I was talking to you about maybe putting neons or something like just a giant freaking 1,000, which is expensive, I know, but just to try it, just to throw 1,000 like smaller fish in there to have that cloud of fish. And they're so small that maybe your fish would look at them the same way Ohio Fish Rescue's fish do. And
I got
although
bass though at Oscars, so
do they. They're living.
not they don't put bass in their pond, their big pond, because it'll eat all those guys, man.
I don't think it would, because I mean they're in that one tank, and now there's African cichlids showing up over there too. You know where they had the South American, I don't know what that was. When we were there,
Yeah,
it was like 3 down from the Frontosa tank.
They have a Dorado in there right now, I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, there's one tiny little one that hides under a thing. I mean, there won't ever be any large number, you know. There'll always be some, but they'll put a hurting on it. Bass will just they just get triggered by movement. They'll just hit it, you know. They don't care what size it is.
I remember, now this is just
but also too, 1,000 wouldn't even make a drop in the 4,500 mine, you know. You'd have to put 10,000 or something in there to get that visual thing like you're talking about.
Yeah, and then you're talking that's too
1,000 is a ton of money. That's like $3,500 worth of neons or something. You know what I mean? If you get $3 a piece, 3,000.
Just to become dinner, that's a tough one to.
Yeah, I mean, also too, it just gets like so right now, the fish in there, they know that when they get fed and where and all that, and I feed in different places, different stuff, and they all know where to go. And the rest of the time, they're so chill and tranquil because they know there's not a feeding time, and it makes the tank. It gives you. I know a lot of people, they don't like with the big fish because of all the jockeying and all that stuff and all the sort of picking at each other, the aggression. But it doesn't have it because they have enough space and there's a very regimented feeding routine, and the rest of the time they just chill because they don't feel the need to compete, you know. So all you ever get is breeding stuff, like male female breeding stuff, but that's not really aggression. That's just the dance, you know.
Yeah, that's nature. And
actually, my wife was down there last night because she wanted to send a picture of the shark eggs to her friend, and the male and female shark were breeding at that time, so she got to see it firsthand. She got to learn what claspers are and all that stuff. And
was she interested, or was she like, oh God?
No, she didn't think that's how it worked. She thought like it was, in her mind, she thought like the female shark would just squirt it out an egg and the male shark would swim by and just like, you know, like spray sperm on it and then they just go off, you know. But when the male shark had the whole female shark's pectoral fin in his mouth, you know, and he was dragging her all around the tank and picking her up and rolling her over on the ground, and then the claspers grabbed her and everything. They did it right in front of the front glass. It was like perfect, you know. And we're just sitting right there. And
video of it, or was she just watching?
No, we both were so enthralled. Like she was watching and I was explaining it to her. Neither one of us thought to, you know, pull out a recording device, you know. And there's a lot of cool things that if I just had something filming 24/7 when I'm down there doing stuff, would have been perfect to put in videos and everything. But you know, it's hard to do. You know,
it's very hard to do. So Jake,
like that one where
go ahead.
There was one where when the shark jumped out, all the lights were on. And I was just watching a video, getting ready to go to bed, and jumped out, landed on my cat on my desk, and the cat squirted out and like jumped on my head or whatever, and I had put the lights on, and the shark's on my desk just doing this thing, you know, and I bear hugged him. I picked him up to put him back in the tank, but the tank's too tall, so I had to like carry him and get a step ladder and drag it over, and the shark's going like this. He's just smacking his head into the side of my head because I had him like bear hugged, you know? But it really was just like getting punched. You know what I mean? It's just like He's just, and I'm like, I go backwards up the thing. I'm just like slam him into the tank. I'm like, oh my god. But I was thinking, like, after it happened, it was so surreal and everything, and I was just like, did that just happen? I was like, no one's even going to believe this happened. I mean, it's like if I had video of this, it would be probably be a viral short or something, you know. But
yeah.
Rummy's,
Well,
the only
we're gonna
people,
have to
Jake says
invest in
Rummy
cameras.
nose would be great for school and fish, but he doesn't. I don't think he understands just how big your tanks are. Like the one where obviously you can't go into the saltwater one, but your big 4,500 gallon. You know, you'd have to buy so many rummies. What do you
well,
say about it?
after putting 150 tetra in the 1,200 gallon and seeing how minimum zero impact that made, right?
Right.
I mean, it's really going to take 1,000 of them in there to think what that would look like in the 4,500 is not like nothing, you know, even 1,000.
Yeah. Right.
But
Unless you can get them breathing.
the look you're talking for, that's what I'm going for in the 1,200 gallon, you know. So you'll have the
Right.
angels and the geos as the big fish, and then you're going to have all those small spiffs in between, you know, which
Yeah.
should
And that'll look good.
yeah, and they school up pretty well. Like it's actually been pretty cool. Like all the Von Rios are together, all the silver tips are together, all that, you know, it's pretty cool.
Yeah. Dr. Ted says a suggestion, perhaps just a single neon. Just throw one in there.
I could just tell you that it's there right now. You'd never know, you know, right? How would actually
Ed,
that
you
could be
gotta
the
go,
gag. If you find the single neon, you win a prize, you know.
buddy.
Hamburger. Swiss.
It'd probably be just as easy to go up to the tank and rub your eyes real hard. For the neon.
All right, everybody. We're going to call it a day and hope to see you next Saturday if I'm around. I'm not going to say I'm canceling because that's backfired on me like 3 weeks in a row. But I do have my it's next weekend, the 17th. I think there's a swap on Saturday, and then there's also I have my class reunion. So
Oh
chances
my gosh,
are
what year's that?
a long time ago. Look at his face. It was a long
Class of
time.
'69, baby.
17th.
Yep, that's my reunion and the swap. Anyway,
Wow.
we're gonna get out of here so Ed can go take his mom shopping. He's got to be nice to her today so he can be extra nice to her tomorrow.
We had some really special stuff planned for the third hour, but because that's got to go, it's all scrap now. So
Yeah,
sorry.
right. Way to go, Ed.
All the giveaways are over.
$500
$500 of free fish food, but
I haven't done a giveaway in a while. Maybe next time I stream, we'll do that.
That
But
small
anyway, all right,
600-gallon
guys.
tank that Jeremy
We'll
doesn't
talk to
want
y'all
anymore.
later. Stay out of
Cool.
trouble. Enjoy the day. Goodbye.